third time is the charm, we all know the ancient proverb. And what I'm going to try and find out by the end of this review of the Earfun Free Pro 3 is whether it applies to modern true wireless earbuds or not. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. After testing both the first and the second gen Earfun Free Pro buds, I have to say that I kind of knew what to expect from the manufacturer this time around. Powerful earbuds in a tiny package with some up-to-date features. What I did not expect, however, is some radical ground-up new design, because there was absolutely no need to rethink and change what worked so well before. And thankfully, Earfun decided to only tweak the look of the Free Pro 3, making it a touch more sleek. The surface of the touch panels are more flat, and I like these metal-looking beveled edges too, which lend some elegance to the overall feel of the buds. The weight of 5.4 grams each is almost a gram heavier than it was with the Gen 2 buds, but the weight gain is mostly due to the use of higher quality materials, and I reckon that also the larger transducers inside. But that extra gram of weight does not impact long-term comfort one bit, and thanks to the replaceable support fins, which we got 3 sets of in the box, the fit is also tight enough for most physical activities such as running and not too intense gym workouts. Speaking of the box, besides of its updated design, what's new here is that we now get 5 sets of silicone ear tips instead of 4, plus you can find a pair of foam tips thrown in there too. So I can hardly imagine someone not being able to find the right fit with the Free Pro 3. Even those who like sleeping with earbuds can probably find the winning combination of the secure grip, the tiny size, and the option of disabling all the touch controls, a dream come true, pun intended. And while the IPX5 sweat and rainproof rating might prove to be more useful outside or in the gym as it does in the bed, it provides you with ample protection. I mean against the elements, not in the bed. Anyway, onto the battery case. It only got a fraction larger than before, but it's still considered extremely compact and easily pocketable. The hinge on the lid is solid, so we got no unwanted flopping, and despite its tiny size, the case has plenty room for our fingers around the buds, so we can easily get a good grip when trying to take them out. And here is a quick disclaimer before we get onto battery life. I've got the earbuds from the manufacturer for testing, but I'm not getting paid for making this review, so all you get is my honest and unfiltered opinion. And now, as far as single charge playtime, we got 7.5 hours with the Free Pro 3 versus 6 on the previous model, and the total playtime also got a 10% increase as we jumped from 30 hours to 33. Wireless charging is available, and there is a 10-minute quick charge feature which can yield an extra 2 hours of use, but that's nothing new as we already got these with the previous generation. That said, I still find it impressive that Earfun managed to cram all this battery performance into such a tiny package. And while all Earfun did was some fine-tuning on the outside of the buds, we got quite substantial improvements on the inside with this third generation of the Free Pro line of buds. Most importantly, there is the latest Qualcomm QCC3072 chip on board, which offers Snapdragon sound. To get all of the claimed benefits of this technology, you will need a Snapdragon sound compatible source device, but most recent Android phones can offer you the aptX adaptive audio codec, which delivers optimal performance across all use case scenarios, such as music listening, watching videos, or gaming. Speaking of which, we get a dedicated game mode which brings the latency down to around 60 milliseconds. And while you won't get the aptX codec with an iPhone, you will get the low latency switch in the iOS version of the Earfun app too. And regardless of which platform I used, I did not have a single hiccup or connection issue during my tests. All I got was quick pairing and rock solid signals. On top of all this, we got single bud mode, which means that you can use each earbud on its own, and multi-point use, which means that you get to connect to 2 devices at the same time. This dual device connection mode is platform agnostic, and the switch happens automatically between your computer and your phone, so you can easily manage incoming calls, but you can also jump back and forth between 2 devices manually. The switch happens within a second or two when you watch videos or listen to podcasts, and using the dual device connection menu in the app, we can select from a list of previously connected devices and switch over to any of those as well. So this Qualcomm chip we got on board is powerful, stacked with features, and it is reliable too. And now let me give you a quick audio sample from the built-in microphones so you can have an idea of what to expect from these earbuds when making a phone call in a quiet room. So the Earfun Free Pro 3 have 6 mics in total on board, and you can also adjust the volume from the earbuds themselves during a phone call. And now let's hear how the earbuds can handle some wind and noise in the background. So this is the phone call quality you can expect from the Earfun Free Pro 3 in such conditions. Onto the controls, we get a touch panel on each bud, which are easy to use and quick to react. All functions are available, including play, pause, volume, track controls, ANC modes and voice control, and all of the tapping actions are remappable individually on each side in the Earfun app. And in case you want to disable all the touch controls, you can also do that now. And having the app is a major upgrade compared to the Free Pro 2, since we got no app support there at all. But now we do, and it offers a comprehensive suite of features. There are some ANC modes, which I will talk about in a second. We get the custom touch controls, a game mode switch, an EQ with presets and a 10-band manual equalizer, and a dual device connection menu. The Find Headphones feature can help us find our buds by emitting a beeping sound should we ever misplace one or both of them. We can also set up the mics as default on either side, in case we prefer using one side over the other. Of course, firmware upgrades and a quick start guide are also available. The app runs on Android and iOS as well, both offering the same set of features, with the only exception of some options for setting up the aptX codec on Android. And while the addition of app support is a huge leap forward in itself, the active noise cancellation is on a whole another level when compared to the second-gen buds. In fact, the ANC is so good that it easily puts the Earfun Free Pro 3 on or near the top shelf in its category. In terms of blocking out low-pitch hums and rumbles, it can keep up with even more expensive earbuds such as the Sony WF-C700 or the Jabra Elite 4. The noise cancelling is less effective as far as higher frequencies or human chatter are concerned, but it's still just a step behind the best in class. And let me add a quick side note here. You may have seen other reviews talking about a rather average noise cancelling, but with the latest firmware, Earfun managed to improve the ANC. And while I'm not sure what it was like before, as I started A/B testing only after the update, I would say that as of making this video, the Free Pro 3 delivers an overall noise cancelling performance, which is more or less on par with the best in its class, such as the Soundcore Liberty 4 and C, and it's definitely better than what you get from the Earfun Air Pro 3. And with that latest firmware now, we also get a few different modes in the ANC menu. There is the default setting, and we also got 3 others, each tailored to different shaped ear canals. Going through all 4, I could hear some differences, but while the Ear 1 mode gave me more tamed high-pitch noises, and the Ear 3 was letting through more mid-frequency noises, I found that the default mode worked best for me. You can also enable wind noise reduction, which can come in handy outside, as it cuts down on that sharp noise the mics pick up in windy conditions. Wind noise reduction is missing from most of its competitors except for the Liberty 4 and C, but what Soundcore, Sony or Jabra can do slightly better with their respective buds in this price bracket is a more natural sounding ambient mode. I noticed some hissing on the Free Pro 3 in this mode, and everything sounds a bit unnatural and a touch too intense from the lower mids and above. What's a good thing though is that you can use either the ambient sound or the noise cancelling in single bud mode as well. As for sound quality, we got larger 7mm wool composite drivers as opposed to the 6mm ones in its predecessor. And the bigger surface area of those drivers translates into much more energy in the bottom octaves, as we got an extremely heavy thump in the bass. That extra heft in the lower registers, however, weighed down the whole sound a bit, making it a touch too dark. The bloated bass has a negative impact on the clarity of the lower mids as well, so we get less of a prominent presence of vocals and instruments. At the top, the highs get rolled off a touch too soon, which affects the openness and the airiness of the sound, both of which are traits I liked so much on the Free Pro 2, which has a much more open sound with richer mids and a more extended treble. With aptX on Android, the treble may get the tiniest more extended and detailed, with an ever so slightly more open soundstage, but I'm not sure if these are actual changes in sound that I would be able to distinguish in a blind test or not. And regardless of the codec we use, the Free Pro 3 is definitely less airy sounding than the previous generation, with a more compressed soundstage, which I personally find a bad thing. That said, I reckon that the target audience will appreciate the more substantial kick in the bass more than anything else, so at the end of the day, strictly from a business point of view, Earfun probably have made the right call when tuning their latest buds to sound exceptionally powerful yet smooth with popular bass-heavy genres such as hip-hop, trap or R&B. And if the bass wasn't dominant enough with the ANC turned off, which is how I tested the sound so far, when turning on the noise cancellation, the bass gets a tiny bit of an extra boost, which makes it absolutely over the top for me. But let's not forget about the EQ, which now we have thanks to the app, as it can help with tailoring the sound signature of the buds to our taste. And in fact, pulling up the mids and the highs can really make these earbuds sing, in my opinion. And to wrap things up, with the Free Pro 3, Earfun did not only keep what was working before, but they also addressed some of the issues I had with the previous generations. We still get the tiny and comfy form factor with decent battery life and wireless charging, but now we also got app support with options such as custom touch controls, different sound profiles and different ambient modes. And then I have not even mentioned the advanced features such as multi-point use, the aptX adaptive codec, the Snapdragon sound or the very competent active noise cancelling. At its $80 price point, you will be hard-pressed to find anything that offers you a more comprehensive set of features in an equally comfortable and compact package, so yes, I believe that third time really is the charm with the Earfun Free Pro 3. And this is it for today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. In my next video, I will give you a more detailed comparison between some of the best earbuds you can get in the under $100 price range, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we can continue the discussion in the comments down below, so don't be shy and start typing. Thanks for watching everyone, hope to see you all in the next one.